What's up, Homestead homies? It's Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, and I'm Doug. Today we're going to talk about how we're cutting the rafter boards to make them straight to receive the fascia board or gutter board. I'm just going to show you a quick, easy tip on how to do that, and we're going to do some more roofing on the outdoor kitchen. Alright guys, so here's the deal. When you put your rafters on, you're going to have an angled end because of the slope of the rafter, right? So if you were to attach a board to this right now, as you can see, it's high to low, okay? So if you put your gutter on there, your gutter is going to be kicked in the bottom, and it's not going to be efficient for collecting your rainwater or even just for shedding the water away from the building, all right? So what we have to do is we have to come in, make our lines so we can make our cuts, and then cut each one of the rafters to make them straight. So when they receive that board, it'll be flat and straight up and down. So when you attach your gutters to it, you'll have a good solid footing, and everything will work properly as far as collecting the water and draining it away from the home or into your rain barrels. So an easy trick for that is first you'll want to figure out how much of an overhang do you want to have, okay? In this instance, we're going with 17 inches, and there's no particular reason why. I just wanted to have as much overhang as possible. So I came out pretty far on my rafter, just so I would have as much overhang as possible, okay? And of course, I could have squeezed another inch out of it or whatever, but I just went with this measurement here. So we take the tape measure, and then we measure 17 inches. So that's our starting point on every rafter now. So whatever you choose for your first rafter is going to be the same length measurement for every rafter thereafter, and that's how you'll mark it and then make your cuts. And then these videos here, I didn't really show you guys a lot of this stuff on the first video because I was trying to get the main building done as quick as possible. So these are like elementary, you know, like basic tips. I know if you're a master carpenter, if you built a lot of stuff, you have all this knowledge. This is basically for the guy who's kind of like I was 5 years ago, just starting out, not much construction experience, and these are just helpful tools to help you guys get a little more confident in what you're doing, and then get you on your way. So this is a level like I showed you guys in the last video. I'll link it right there, and that's going to be about plumbing. You know, plumb is vertical and level is horizontal. So if you're checking something that's level, a table or something like that, that's something that's on the ground, something horizontal, that's called the horizontal because it's along the horizon. And then plumb is when you're testing vertical, like, you know, white men can't jump. And that'll give you your plumb, okay? So what we're doing here is we're just taking at the mark. I've already marked these, but I just wanted to show you guys. I thought it would be an interesting video. We're taking our 17 inches that we marked, okay, and whatever it is for you, it could be different. I mean, these are just the measurements that we're using here today. You put your pencil at the mark, okay, where you marked it, and then you take your small level, and then you make sure that the level, you know, remember I taught you guys in the last one about the water bubble goes between the lines. That shows that your plumb are level. And then you just make sure that that's straight up and down, because you'll know it's straight up and down because your mark right here, okay, here's your starting point. You're moving this until you can get a straight line. Now you know it's straight because the level's there, and then you just mark it with your pencil like that. And now you have your line that you're going to cut. Okay, let me show you that a little closer. Here's your 17 inches or whatever you've decided you're going to cut your rafters off at. Then you put your level right there. Make sure that the bubble is showing level, and then you just make your mark right there. And now when you cut this off, you're going to have a nice straight board all the way down to attach your fascia board or your gutter board. Alright, so hopefully that was a good tip for you guys. You can also use a speed square. It's a bit more complicated. There's a pivot point, and then you just go on there and you mark where that's hitting on the speed square, and then you can just go to each rafter and mark it with your speed square. I find this way to be fairly easy, fairly simple for people to use, and also it works just as good. Okay, so I'm gonna get these cut, and then we'll put our boards on, and then I'll talk about how you hang the last purlin, the last runner, at the edge of your rafters. Okay, so I'll be right back. Alright, so I got my boards cut, and now I got my fascia board going up. I started a nail in at this end, just to hold it up because I'm a one-man show. Use the ladder to to prop it up so I could get it up there. Make sure my board's level. My fascia board here is going to be level, which is perfect right there. And then you can also see now, looking down this, you can see that this board is flat, so it's now going to be able to accept the gutter that I put on here, because I am going to run a little gutter here, just to get the water down and away from the building. So I'll probably just put some drain tile in. I'm not going to collect any water off of this building because it's basically too low for me to do that. So I won't be doing that here. Double check, make sure it didn't move. Beautiful. And now that I have it started, being the one-man show that I am, now I can get the rest of these nails put in, and then I'll be moving on to the putting my panels up for the roof, and then showing you guys how to do the last purlin or runner at the end here. Alright guys, so we're on the roof now. I got my fascia board on where the gutter's going to go, and I use treated wood for that one on this application, or you have to stain it with a waterproof water sealer for your wood, because obviously that's going to come into contact with the elements. For your purlins or your runners, as you can see here, those can be treated or not treated. It's a little cheaper if you don't have them treated, but it's not really crucial because they're always underneath the roofing, so they're not getting wet as much as the front board here being exposed to the elements. So when you get up here, you could, if you were doing the purlins and doing everything by yourself, like I did on the other side or the other part of the roof, that part up there, I went ahead and just put my last runner on before I put my fascia board up. And if you do that, you want to leave about a 1.5 inch overhang from your rafters for this board right here that you're going to put down, which is your last purlin or your last runner. Because what you want to do is, when you set this on here, or if it's already on there, it needs to work out to where it's flush. See how that's flush? Flush with the fascia board there, okay? So obviously it's easy to do if you're doing it after you have your fascia board up, but if you don't do it after that, then when you hang this last one, you have to make sure that you're overhanging your rafters by 1.5 inches, so when you put your fascia board up, they're going to match together, and that's how you want your boards to look, your finished product. Okay, and then of course your roofing comes down over the top of that like so with a little overhang, and then that's going to fall right into your gutter, and then that's going to move the water away from your building. All right guys, so this part of the video about the outdoor kitchen, the wood shack in the back was about basically showing you guys how to cut your rafters so you can apply your fascia board, your gutter board, and give you a few tips like that. And then that last runner board, purlin, how that's supposed to overhang so you get a nice flush finish at the end here. Okay, when I was doing my building and other projects, you know, I wasn't that familiar with that stuff. So basically I'm only doing this to help the guy who doesn't have a lot of construction experience, because building buildings like this is relatively easy, and a beginner construction person can do it. Okay, it's not that intricate. A lot of people ask why I have the ceiling go up and then it drops down and then it goes out, because these are called lean-tos, these structures, and it's a very simple construction build. Okay, so even just the basic person, if they're confident in their skills enough that they believe in themselves, that they could get out here and build something like this. That's why I didn't go with like our cabin roof has a pitch. It's a 12-12 pitch, and again, I assembled those. There's no rafters like that come. A lot of people, when they build stuff like houses and stuff, they have rafters that come from a place that makes them, and they're all joined together, and they basically crane them up, set them down, and then sheet them and roof them. Basically, I built those rafters on the spot. I had a center beam, and then I had cut each rafter just like I did here at whatever angle I was determining for the roof, which was a 12-12, so we would have head space in our area upstairs, so we have our bedroom there. And then I cut each one, and then I had to fasten a couple of them together, and I was all by myself, so I had to lift that ridge beam up. I had to attach some, get them sturdy enough, strap it down, and then continue on putting each rafter in on each side of that ridge beam. But these builds, these lean-to structures, are super easy to build for you guys. So I'm encouraging you guys, if you're thinking about putting a chicken shack or anything on your property, just, you know, you can do it. Okay, that's it. So hopefully I'm just encouraging you guys and teaching you just some basic stuff to empower you guys to build it yourself. You save a ton of money if you can build it yourself. This is Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. I'm Doug, and we'll see you guys on the next one. The next update, by the way, that we're going to be doing on the outdoor kitchen, on the wood shack in the back, is we're going to be putting on the Ondura roofing, and we're also going to be showing how we use the ridge caps for the flashing on the sides, and then we'll have this building ready to go for the T111 in the back here, and we're going to start packing our wood in here, getting ready for winter time. So we'll see you guys on the next episode. You know, take care.